Hey, it doesn't speak like a lawyer. Pela Google says you're a qualified lawyer. I'm not. I'm
not even. I'm glad that you actually had this platform to actually clarify that.
Yeah.
Because I was doing a publication with another magazine, and then they asked me, what's my highest level of qualification? And I said, okay, I'm actually a dropout, law, And it's funny when you're talking about parents, because Ekaya, it was only my mom that had an issue with me dropping out, but my dad was somewhat very much excited about it, because I remember even when I finished matric, he had a friend in the group called Avante, because my dad used to sing with Amapoisa Ulundi, so he was musically inclined.
Okay.
So he had a friend willing to Avante. So when I'm matric, I was like, because already at the time I was singing at church.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, just leave the university and stuff. Just go and join. Just go and join Avante and then Imagine, I'm 17 years old and I'm joining Avante with Abadabadala.
Do you still have them?
No, I actually, somebody, I think, people, I'm in the hospital. Yeah, cool. I don't want to tell my dreadlocks. Who's on board the spell? Next thing, how come my dreadlock work? I'm like, eat draw.
That's acting.
So I gave them to someone else.
We gave them someone else. Don't worry, you're growing onto some boat out there.
Well, at that time, I remember I was still part of Joyous Celebration. So my medical bills were taken care of by Joyous Celebration.
Really?
Yes.
So Joyous Celebration looked after you?
Yes, Joyous Celebration. They took care of me. They took care of me. They would come to hospital. Do hosting. Now I'm in front of the camera. I have to learn how to work with an auto cue and to look like I'm not reading the auto cue. And remember, English is not my first language.
And then you came to Joyous. Remember this guy with dreadlocks? Yeah. Hello. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us once again on the Gospel Reality Podcast. And today, out, I realized this guy, he's a year older than me. I was like, hey, I want to cook a man. But before we go there, ladies and gentlemen, please tell your friends, your neighbors to make sure that we subscribe and join this movement. The only way we grow is if you tell somebody to subscribe to the Gospel Reality Podcast. And if you do that, Umbuso with Zulu must grow. Now, before we go into the interview, ladies and gentlemen, my song of the week this week, let me tell you, is Java. Uyena. People listen to that song, ne? It got me questioning a lot of things. And like gospel music, there's no limitations to doing gospel music. Please check out Uyena. But I picked the name, but over and above Usabu, there's a guy called Xolani Mdlalose. He was gonna take that song, ne? I said Penthouse. I said Penthouse. But beautiful song. Please check out Uyena by Sjava. Beautiful music. The South African gospel music is embracing the South African music is embracing gospel music, and it's just amazing. Please check it out. Now, without any further ado, I'm here with this guy. Ne? I remember when I first saw this guy, I was like, this is the Prince of Praise. Byron Cage. How Byron Cage? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Xolani Mdlalose.
I'm all right, bro. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for having me.
No. Thank you for being easy to work with. Ne?
Yeah.
Bonzo, let me tell you. On Instagram, I hit him up. Yeah. Brian, please send me your number. Quickly send me his number. Yeah, I sent him the invite on WhatsApp. Yeah. Blue tick. Because I sent the wrong Xolani. And then somebody says on our comments, please make sure we have Xolani Mdlalose, please. Then I send him. I'm like, oh, it's the first time I send this person.
Yeah.
He says, no, I've been waiting for you. Welcome, my brother.
Thank you so much, sir. Yabonga.
All the way from Ulundi.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yes. Not on side of KZN.
Ne?
Yeah.
Ah, no. Phela where you la uhlala khona ne. Ungaphonsa ilitshe nje liwele enkandla.
Actually, it's not even that close.
Hey,
It's
no.
very far apart.
No, it's 60 minutes drive, but it's a duze, you know.
Yeah.
Are you good, my brother?
I'm good, man. I'm alright.
Man, you have vanished from my timeline. This man, Ugupi, gone. Where have you been?
Oh man, you know what? COVID happened,
Ne?
you know, but then, you know what? I was saying to someone, sometimes this that happens in our lives, we should really be grateful to God because kusuke kune purpose that He is actually trying to fulfill ngempilo yakho, you know, because during that time we were all brought back to God, you know, not that we're not in Him, but the level of our, you know, our intimacy with Him, our commitment to Him was no longer the same. So we're like brought back to that first love with Him during COVID, you know. So yeah, so I've been in that space where I've been going back to a drawing board, you know, with my spiritual life, in my career. And also serving in the church because I believe that is what has really kept me for all this time, you know, where I wasn't in the public that much, you know, just to be in the church, just to serve, because before I am a musician or an artist, you know, I'm a born again Christian, so I'm a worshipper. So kwaseke kuhlangana ke ukuthi kanti uyawazi ukucula, so now wagcina ke seba yi-artist, but I'm grateful to God ukuthi ngibuyele back to my roots of being a worshipper. Then the artist ke lizobuye liqhamuke futhi ngesikhathi sakhona.
Hallelujah. No, you know what? I think he gave you my notes. I love one thing. The reason why I still go back to your Instagram, babies and TikTok. Yeah. You still serve at the highest level in church.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes it's missed. You know, now when you're a superstar, man, then we kind of forget, but you know, man, a home is very important.
Yes.
So I need to commend you on that. But you know, man, you're not too big for the platform.
No, I could never be too big. I could never. But that is my service to God. You know, that is my service to God. So I could never be bigger than that because that's my root. Like I said, that's where I actually started. You know, yeah.
I know. Hey, it doesn't speak like a lawyer. Pella, Google says you're a qualified lawyer. How not? I'm
not even. I'm glad that you actually had this platform to actually clarify that.
Yeah.
Because I was doing a publication with another magazine, and then they asked me, what's my highest level of qualification? I told them, okay, I'm actually a dropout, law. You know, I did first level 1, level 2, and level 3, and level 3 now and then I went to Johannesburg, you know, to pursue the career. So I'm actually a dropout. Then I said to them, but I'm still, you know, not over with it. I'm still going to continue and finish the whole thing. So I think they just decided to just prophesy and say he's a qualified.
You must go back, Baba. Finish that degree.
Yes, I will.
At least you can go into entertainment law.
Yes.
You know,
absolutely. That's where actually I wanted to venture into. You know, when I had an idea of being a lawyer.
Yeah. But you must know, law in gospel music, people don't know how important law is. In making sure your paperwork is on point. You'll testify when we talk about your album later, right?
Yes.
So one of the pictures that caught my attention, right? You were wearing a Zulu regalia.
Yeah.
And I started thinking to myself, Zulus are generally very cultural in their attire, in you know, Ibuto. You've got a king.
Yeah.
And there's traditional aspect of that. As a child of God, how do you separate yourself? Good to know, man. My culture is after this, like, where do you draw the line?
I think our drawing line is obviously our constitution as Abazalwane, which is the Bible. So anything that is outside the Bible, even if it may be culturally, you know, inclined with your culture, if it's outside the Word of God, that's your drawing line, you
Yeah.
know. But putting your regalia, doing your traditional dance, if at home you are having things like Oma, Bonan, where you have to celebrate your culture and stuff, it's all right. Those things are okay. But then there are other things that are a no-go area, you know, which also are as Hambisana and Nelokuzana culture that you know very well with no Agila.
So you'll wear your regalia kodwa mase bathi sesijikela ngale impepho nani nani uthi hayi bafethu ngizomela la.
Irikala finally it's just an attire. Yeah.
No, because I know Zulu people are very cultural.
Yeah.
One thing I love about KZN, that's why I know Ulundi, like, where you come from.
Yeah.
Very cultural. They preserve the culture. Of
Yes,
Zulus,
yes,
you know.
yes.
And I've heard your king that believe in God, but in Latin,
Mama Dlos.
yeah.
Nabatabadala.
Yeah, so he'll say those things, but I know that back in the mind of a lot of Zulu people is they still preserve their culture. So I wanted to find out, where do you draw the line?
I know mine is clear. I'm a child of God and
Ne?
yeah, iphelela lapho.
Iphelela lapho, ne?
Yeah.
So the first time I knew about you. This is the first time I meet you in person, ne?
Yeah.
The first time you were in Vuga Africa, ne?
Yes.
So you did Vuga Africa, but we didn't really know you. And then you came to Joyous. Remember this guy with dreadlocks? Yeah. Akita, madoda. Hello. Mangathi nje.
Oh, man.
Who recruited you to Joyous?
Actually, no one actually recruited me
Yeah.
to Joyous. I think I was at a stage in my life where I really wanted to take my music career into another level. And I knew of Joyous Celebration. And I had people that I knew personally, and besabe with Joyous already at the time. So bangenza nami ngagcina sengithi yazi maybe, and I could see their career was like taking a different direction from them. Jesibazi as growing. I'm talking about the likes of Abo Ngubego, Abo Sibongiseni, Abo Ntokozo, people that I had knew them sihlangana nabo
Correct.
in church conferences back at home. Sibazi ukuthi they are good in what they do, and then they got that exposure, Baba with Joyous, and then we could see, okay, you know, they are actually now getting into this thing of in the industry of music. So I was like, okay, maybe there is something for me there, you know. Then I decided, you know, let me just go for auditions. I wasn't recruited. I went to auditions like everybody
like everyone
else.
else, yeah.
Yes, I went to the auditions like everyone else. But I remember that year, I'm not sure what was happening with Joyous. I think it was something that has to do with the sponsor and stuff. So they ended up not taking in anyone on that year. And then they called me on the following year, which was Joyous 13. They were like, okay, are you still interested in Joyous Celebration? And I'm like, and around the time already I was back in KZN studying law,
Yes.
you know, and I was like, but now I'm back in KZN and I'm studying, so how am I going to do this? But then I just decided over the holidays when equal is value, and I'm like, okay, let me just go and see what's there for me.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful story, you know. But my story with Joyous is not like everyone else. I was recruited, but I'm glad you went. You know, I think you've done so well with Joyous.
Yeah.
With what you know now,
Yeah.
by degree, third year, and you have to go to Joyous. What would you choose at this point?
Ooh, yeah, I'm telling you, you know what? Because now I'm older. You know, I'm older and I think I'm wiser now. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I would have preferred to finish my degree first,
But
you know, and then be able to then go into Joyous Celebration. But I think, you know, at the time, even though you wouldn't want to say you want to blame anyone,
Yeah.
but you know, if one could have had proper guidance as to no, listen, it's okay. Joyous Celebration will always be there as it is still here even today.
Yeah.
Just finish that,
Yeah.
you know. But then, you know, one lacked that. So you just thought, you know what? This is an opportunity. Let me do it now.
Yeah.
And, you know, Ngena corner. But again, all is not lost because, you know, I still have a chance to finish that degree.
Correct.
Yeah, it's just that now it's a bit, not even that late, but it is somewhat there.
It's a bit trickier now. Yeah. Now Ngena in 2000 manje.
Yo, tell me about it.
Because now universities, they change. We were talking about this earlier. Uguti, you can say, no, I was third year. Can I just start third year? But no, things have changed.
Yeah.
They move.
You know how it is. You go back to our one. You know.
And what people don't know is when the passion burns, when your talent, and I don't know, this thing always happens to the arts, people in the arts, when the talent burns, and you feel like I see this dream, I see myself on that stage, you forget everything else. You know what, this thing must wait. My parents want a degree, they must wait.
Yeah. And it's funny when you're talking about parents, because Ekaya, it was only my mom that had an issue with me dropping out, but my dad was somewhat very much excited about it, because I remember even when I finished matric, he had a friend in the group called Avante, because my dad used to sing with Amapoisa Ulundi, so he was musically inclined.
Okay.
So he had a friend who went to Avante. So when I'm to matric, I was like, because already at the time I was singing at church.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, just leave the of university and stuff. Just go and join.
Really?
Just go and join Avante and then Imagine, I'm 17 years old and I'm joining Avante with Abadabadal.
Yeah, no, you're gonna stand out. So you're gonna join the group, You're gonna be that young boy. It was gonna be nice.
My dad was there, was like, go. Yeah. And when I left the university, he was like, now, you see now, this is what you... Because I think somehow he was just running away from the responsibility of taking care of being the university. So I was like, this one must
have to save it.
Money. He's got the talent already.
But now, I thought I was going to skip this part, right? How is it, right? And I grew up in a similar fashion like you.
Yeah.
My mom married to somebody else. Your dad is with somebody else. How do you balance the two? You consult here, you consult there. More varashala, are you welcome? Lapaya. How did that happen for you? Was it seamless?
I think it was seamless. It was seamless because that is what I knew. From exile in Guamji. I was introduced to these both families at a very, very young age. So for me, it was a normal life.
Oh, yeah.
I just knew that I have two families. And if I were to probably use the term Yamanji, I complied with everything that was said. If they say you are visiting these ones on these holidays, that's all right with me. If they say this year you're gonna be this side, that's all right with me.
All right.
So it was sort of just a normal setup for me. It was just a normal setup.
And your mom and dad embraced it well. Like, when I've seen when parents divorce, some families say, "Hey, ubaba kunje, umama kunje." You didn't have that.
Not per se with my mom, but I know Uchi from the mother's side. I was his back. The grannies and them, they didn't like my dad. They didn't like me at all. Like, he's Quebec. But my mom never said anything that would probably make me look at Chubawam in a different way.
Right.
She never. But at the same time, he wasn't like singing hero songs for him. She was just neutral and quiet about him. That was it.
No, but that's I'd say that's good because you shape a child's how a child views a person by the things that are said at home.
Yeah.
So if you want to know what a family thinks of you, engage the child. You will realize
yes.
Yes,
that is very true.
Yes. So let's go back to Joyous Celebration.
Yeah.
So the song that made me notice you with Joyous Celebration, Asikho isikali abona sishiftisa kwa dining room tables like the way you do praise, my man. That's why I said Byron Cage, Prince of Praise. Like the way you do praise, I was like, okay, this man Magasugala, he's gone. Like we are go, like when you host your own shows, like the way Do you remember the songs you did at Joyous Celebration?
Yeah.
Isikali was your first song, ne?
It was not really. It was my in the one that I had written. It was the first song that I had written for Joyous.
Yeah.
But in Joyous 13, I had done I call it my debut song. In Joyous, it was called Tando. It was more of a ballad kind of a song, a slow tempo song. And then in Joyous 14, they sort of wrote me the same song that was similar to the one that I had done with it in, and then Mkiza was like, you know what, Mkiza was like, we actually short of praise songs. Who has a praise song? So I said, I've got a song that I've written. It's Kali. Can we probably do that song? And in my mind, that song I had a woman leading that song, and I had a particular lady that I wanted to actually Uzoto Masham. You probably know her song.
Yeah.
So like I wanted to do this song, but when we started, rehearsing and stuff, it was like, you know what, Mina Gibona, when are you doing this song, and then that's how I actually got to do that song as well, to do it Lenzo Wamina.
Ne, the lengoma le indlusela.
Yeah.
I wanted to sing it, but it was emotion. You know that song I'm talking about, ne?
Yeah.
Did you write that song?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful song.
I wrote the song. Thank you.
Is that not the first song you sang? That was the second song you sang, ne?
That was just what, just 17. Oh my goodness, it's a good time.
Age. So indlusela, I was like,
It was just 17 years.
it's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Yes, it was just after Ngubeko left when Usia.
Yes.
At Grace Bible Church.
Yes.
I remember it.
Yes.
Indlusela was such a beautiful song. Ne?
Thank you.
Then I was like, okay, this guy, ngoma zakhe. Then when you started taking it up tempo, I was like, sesiyajuluka manje. And I believe you've influenced this generation. Ne? Abangishaya, but I feel like people like Abayanda Ntanzi and all these guys who are praisers, they've checked you out.
Yeah.
Do you think you've influenced people, Luguti, the younger guys who are coming after you? Ukuthi ishaba kanje lento.
Most definitely. And for the fact ukuthi I was in Joyous Celebration, which is a very huge platform, and
Very, very big.
and umuntu ongathi hayi Joyous bengayikubi ngabe umkambimanga and iqiniso alikho kuye. So one way or the other, not to say ukuthi me as Xolani Mdlalose, but our number mix Joyous, and I happened to bring in that vibe of it, and I remember when I brought in that vibe what Joyous.
Yeah.
And I remember when I actually introduced the song, the choir was actually laughing at me.
Really?
Because it was like, hello, we are Joyous Celebration. We don't do
such
any kind of stuff, And Ngubeko actually even said, because I wanted it to even have that time. Then check. But Ngubeko was like, already, so let's have a different groove to it.
Yeah.
So Sabu then came up with the intro of the song as well as the groove of how it should actually go. But in my mind, because it was it is Nandweni inspired. So I had brought in that vibe. So, and then after that, then Ngena give vibe what Joyous, and I'm sure people were inspired nabo on their own personal capacity.
Of course.
By those songs that I did in Joyous.
No. I want to go Joyous, ne? And did you feel like you left Joyous prematurely?
Not really. Because according to my plan, I think the plan it would have been prematurely, because I wanted to leave Joyous after Joyous 15. That's how early I wanted to leave.
Oh, really?
And Uba Mkize was like, I'm not going to let you go even now. Because even when I left, he still didn't want to let me go.
Really?
I just decided to just vanish. Like seriously, I vanished from Joyous, and at that time I was really at the peak of my career in Joyous Celebration. I was getting booked left, right, and center. That even I have to be excused. Please, Babumkis, I'm not going to be around this week. Gise Cape Town, so I ended up now having to just slip out of it was ngaphuma kancane, and Ukiza wasn't happy about it, and we were able to mend our relationship, even after that. Yeah.
Hey, I didn't know I was gonna bring this one. Hey, at least we peace tunes, yes. I was afraid of asking.
He wasn't happy at all, because I think he still wanted to be in Joyous. So me leaving, I really felt like I have done absolutely everything that I needed to do, because I didn't want to be boxed. I'm a person who does praise only, because I believe I'm coming from a background in Africa where I was taught worship, I was taught praise, and I was given a chance as well to explore all of that. And uNkulunkulu wangisiza to give me grace to be able to do both. So Joyous
praise again. No, look, you're singing on that praise, man. And I'm never having this channel.
To actually think about it, that's where I actually started. Even getting that, being comfortable. In or being on stage, Gwavuga Africa in CFCI Covenant, where I was, I would mostly do a praise, and then Umam Mfundisi would be doing a worship. So, and then now and again, I then got to be introduced into worship. So, praise was mostly my, my comfortable zone, So, yeah.
So, did you date it, Joyous? Ngizolwa natural. Did you date?
Yes, I did. I did. Yeah, I did. Right. But I wouldn't want to be mentioning people's.
No. Forget the name. I just want to know, because I usually from us on the ground. But hey, hey.
I think there were stuff like that.
And then, so what I want to ask about people who go together, I forgot to ask Bungi and Colin about this question. Now, remember, you're a celebrity now, you perform in Cape Town, and then you've got somebody you're dating in the choir, and then the groupies, they want to take pictures with you.
No, I think. It wasn't like many relationships that I had in the choir. I had only one person that I dated, and I think we were so much comfortable with each other that even if Ageko or Koznaye we shoot, I was in the choir song, so now we are shooting, I mean, so there was no issue about it.
So the Pumika. People have moved on. So, I think it was public knowledge, but I don't think everyone knew.
Yeah.
While you were in Joyous Celebration, right? You encountered a very near-death experience.
Yeah.
That has been haunting your family, right? And then, Vuganje Gezamazi. Next thing what was happening?
Yeah, you know what? You are really, really amazing, because you have every details of what was happening in my life. I'm like, hey. Okay. Anyway, well, it wasn't really something that I was thinking at that time. It was that serious, because we always get now and again kanda. I didn't realize at that time that it was that serious, to a point where I only realized serious kwako when I woke up from collapsing. I thought, okay, this is really, really serious, And when I was waking up from that, I think this side was not. It felt like it wasn't functioning. And luckily, my late friend Akumzi was there. I was staying with him in the flat at the time.
So, is it Akumzi who found you?
Yes, it was Akumzi Jazzy. I was sharing a unit with him.
Wow.
We were very close friends.
Yeah.
So he then rushed me to the doctor. And then that's really when I really got to, when the doctor said, you know what, from what you're describing to me, I kind of think, I not that I think, I know there is something that, it's something that has to do with, the arteries, brain arteries and stuff. I wouldn't know because I don't have scans here.
Yeah.
So, but I know it has to do with the artery rupture or anything like that. So we need to quickly transfer him to the hospital. And
what do you call it? Aneurysm.
Yes, brain aneurysm.
Aneurysm, yes.
Yes, and you know, it was like a movie playing. Never in my whole entire life ever thought that I would be in an ambulance. So from the doctor, I was in an ambulance being transferred to the hospital, and it was around traffic hour. But the way that ambulance was moving, it never stopped anywhere. Like I could just hear the siren. Wait. Then the next thing, I'm out of this. I'm not pushed to the, But I'm grateful to God through all of that. God, preserved me, and He gave me another chance, to be actually even sitting here today, and to testify about it, because it was a very, very, very critical, condition that I was in at that time.
Wow. So I thought when I saw that, I thought, man, when something is kind of in the family, like some people, diabetes, isn't there bloodline?
Yeah.
People anticipate with, man, I know I must look after myself, otherwise this thing is coming, because you were not the first to suffer from this in the family, right?
Yeah.
You had a younger sister in her matric.
Yes.
Unfortunately, she passed away. From the
very same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
Yeah, and she passed away when she had just got to the hospital, and she was waiting. My mom was waiting for the results of the scans as to what is going on, and as she was just sitting there and waiting, she says she just felt her hand letting go. And then the machines were like, "Dee," and then that was it. I think it dawned when it happened with me. Okay, this thing is probably in the family. It runs in the family, because we thought if it happened with her, we didn't even know it is something that can actually be in the family, because I remember that now that I think about it, I remember that she would now and again, when she would be coming back from school, she would be saying that you're complaining with, "Hey, I'm having a headache," and then she would just ring grandpa, and then she would be okay. Until that day, and it was around that, if you remember, that took a very long time. It was around that time she couldn't wake up from her room, and when umama yombheka, she was having fits, kanti that was going to be there. It didn't even take her that long. It happened in the afternoon. She was transferred to the hospital, to the next hospital. The evening of that day, she passed on. So that how quick it was. Yeah.
And how grateful are you to God that, at least your life was spared?
I owe Him my life. I owe Him my life.
How shy
I owe
like, there's no other way of explaining it.
Yeah.
So a bit of a sensitive issue. So I had Sabu here not so long ago, and when he says the scar on his head after his accident reminds him of how good God was. We say how good, or how the mercy of God in his life.
Yeah.
Now you have to carry a scar that reminds you that you could have gone. When you look at yourself in the mirror, what does your scar say to you every day?
You know what? It says a whole lot of. You know what? This is what I always do when I probably be facing challenges and things that I'll be like thinking to myself, I don't know how am I going to get out of this, and I'll be looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, what is the like kandalako? God was able to bring you out of that. So why are you worried about this now? Why are you really even stressing about this? If God was able, to bring you out on something that it was the most critical. They say, if I were to probably get a little bit deeper in that about that brain aneurysm, they say that it's very critical anywhere in the body, if you were to have it anywhere in the body. But if it's in the brain, it's even worse. And with me, they say it was on the main artery that supplies blood. If you probably just check, I have two scars. I have this one here and another one there. So in order for them to actually do anything there, they had to open up here and stop the blood from going up. Because could they have done anything there without stopping the blood, I wouldn't be here. So you can imagine. The operation was supposed to be about 3 hours, and then it took them about 9 hours. So you can imagine, you know, that God was at play. You know, God
9 hours.
9 hours. So every day when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, I'm a living testimony
Oh.
that there is absolutely nothing impossible with God.
Ne?
Absolutely. Even when I get to where I feel like I've hit a rock bottom, I can't go anywhere. I look at myself, I encourage myself, I speak to myself and say, listen, bruh,
Here's my testimony.
you could have been a memory by now.
Of course.
But now you are still here.
Ne?
So yeah, God still has greater plans for you.
Hallelujah. No, you know, when people have gone through things, and I can only imagine when you've got a reminder,
Yeah.
ekumbuzayo, especially your face is your brand, basically,
Yeah.
as an artist.
Yeah.
And you didn't take that, you know, this, I buga manje sengimoshayele. You take it to, you know what, this is the mercy of God.
Yes.
So strength to you, my brother. Strength to you. And that's the reason why you had to cut off your dreadlocks.
Yeah, that's the reason why probably this will answer a whole lot of people because they're like, why did you cut off your dreadlocks? Besides that, I would never have them now.
I mean, funny.
Dreadlocks were for the time when I was still in my youth days.
Yes.
Imagine no.
So that's part of the reason why you. Actually, that was the main reason, right?
Yeah.
You could have probably grown it back, but
Yeah.
do you still have them?
No, somebody, I think, people, I'm in the hospital, ngiyagula, lo muntu uzongicela ama-dreadlocks. Uzongibona esibhedlela. Next thing, how up ama-dreadlock work? I'm like, take. So I gave them to someone else.
We gave them someone else. Don't worry, you're growing onto some boat out there. But I'm glad you're okay. The first thing I see when somebody is especially in the entertainment industry, doesn't matter if you're an artist, if you're a painter, if you're whatever in there, is how did you afford to pay medical bills?
Well, at that time, I remember I was still part of Joyous Celebration, so my medical bills were taken care of by Joyous Celebration.
Really?
Yes.
So Joyous Celebration looked after you?
Yes, Joyous Celebration. They took care of me. You know, they took care of me. They would come to hospital. The late Lihle Mbanzwa said to me, "You are not gonna be eating hospital food. I'm gonna cook for you every day." She would cook for me. She would
plus
bring
she was
me
a cook.
Yes, she would bring me food. Just Lindelani Mkize, no Jabu. They would come and check me out. So they took care of that.
Yeah.
They actually, even for the very first time my mom flew, you know, they booked her flight to come this side to be with me. And then when I was out of the hospital, they flew her back as well. So they really did, you know, take good care of me.
That's beautiful, because this industry has got a tendency to, when somebody is not, they kind of forget about you, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm glad. But now, have you learned a lesson? Is your medical stuff in order?
Absolutely.
Very important.
Absolutely. It's just that, you know, after COVID, because I'm one person who loves going to gym, you know, so after COVID, one hasn't been able to go back to the gym, you know, but it is, now and again, I would run, you know, because that's part of taking care of your health. I'll be running, I'll just do your 9 kilometers, your 12 kilometers. You know, just to keep fit, you know, because you know how it is with what we do. You really have to keep, you know, to keep
straight,
fit, because you are using this body. You know, when you're on stage, when you have to perform, when you have to, you know, involve the audience, you don't want to be fainting on stage. And then you're like, boom, God.
Yeah, no, but you know, I encourage musicians to 100% look after your health, but also, in addition to that, pay some form of hospital cover of some sort. I think my gig, hospital cover, insurance, and retirement.
Yes.
Kuningi, ne?
Yes, medical aid.
Medical aid.
Yes. And nowadays we have medical aids that are not medical aid schemes that are not that expensive.
Correct.
You know, that you can probably just say, okay, monthly, paying this much for just to look out, you know, for your health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uyocula lama 1.5. It's easy. But my brother, I am so glad that you came out alive.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad, man. Then from Joyous, I think you were interested or you just left. Then you got your first TV gig.
Well, yeah.
So let me tell you then. So I'm an advocate, right?
I kind of know where it's gonna go anyway.
I am an advocate. I'm like, guys, gospel musicians can't just make money from CD sales and be played on Sundays. In these TV programs, why can't we have gospel musicians, man, being the anchors and whatnot? Then I saw you in Mahalia. I'm like, this is what I've been preaching about. First episode, I was like, okay. What's happening? Take us. Take us through that process. How did you land that gig?
You know what the Bible says?
Hallelujah.
We must occupy. Jesus said, occupy until I come.
Straight.
He didn't say, my session okay, la kuphela or la kuphela. He said,
Correct.
occupy. So if there's a space that you feel good, you can actually occupy. Do it, you know. And I believed with no reason of doubt, I can do absolutely everything and anything
Through Christ
who strengthens me. You know, and then now that gig, okay, first the gig of ETV, it came through after we had done that collab with Mahali.
Yes.
Phakama. And then we were shooting your TV. We were shooting your TV. And then when we were walking to she was going to in a car and I was going to be going to mine in a parking lot. The one gospel guy, I think he was the head of channels at the time. He's coming from his car, so he's greeting because we were friends of the channel. Like now and again, they would, you know, feature us on shows, whatever that they would be doing. Now and again, we're like busy on the channel. So Mahalia, all of a sudden, she just says to Mark, me and Xolani, we've got a show that we want to actually present. Please give us a show on your channel. And I just played along, having no idea what she's talking about. I'm like, yes, we have a show that we want to present. You know, we want to do the show. And Mark was like, oh, are you serious? We're like, yeah, we're serious. And it's like, okay. Then come and preach it to us and preach it to the channel, and then we can take it from there. Because you guys already, you are familiar. I mean, your faces are familiar on the channel. So, you know, come and, you know. Now, when he left, I'm like to my head, okay, what are you talking about? Never in my whole entire life had I ever thought of presenting or being a TV host or anything like that. So I'm like, what are you talking about now? It's like, no, listen, let's just do something. Let's just. So we had to come up with the name of the show, the concept, how the show should go and everything. And then we went to the channel and we presented, you know, the idea. And then they loved the idea. Yes. Yes. Now. Omunye akaze nje asazama phambi camera and do hosting. Now I'm in front of the camera. I have to learn how to work with an auto cue and to look like I'm not reading the auto cue. And remember, English is not my first language. So, listen. But you know what? I remember the very first one. I don't know how many takes we were taking that day. The way I was flapping. The way I couldn't be able to read the auto cue. The way I couldn't be able to actually, you know, leave the auto cue like talk as if like I'm talking up like, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the destiny. My name is Ulundi. Xolani, no. Like talk, don't read. Don't look like you are reading. You know, but God's grace, you know, I was able to. We were on the 4th season, so there was a huge improvement from then.
Definitely.
So you can imagine it was just someone who was just thrown in the deep, and I found myself drowning at first, and then I was paddling, and then being able to, you know, to swim, you know, a little.
You know that first season, I was like, but the most beautiful thing is when you guys found your rhythm.
Yeah.
How you guys were going.
Yeah.
Like when you guys, like the first 5 episodes were disaster. I was like, oh my God. But when you guys found your rhythm, when you guys actually got
Yeah.
what was supposed to. Like, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I thought from there, Hollywood straight.
And remember, I'm doing this show with someone who's very much fluent in English,
Yeah.
who has done hosting a show before. So there was also pressure on my side.
Correct.
You know, it was just a whole lot of things.
I was like, yeah, when I get that. But when you guys got it, now you got it.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Keke when Koke started as well.
Yeah.
I'm like, Ian's having the, but when he got it, like,
Yeah.
we thank God for directors who are experienced.
Yeah.
They see something behind, because they could have said, "All right, guys, let's can this. It won't work."
It won't work.
But they obviously saw something.
Yeah.
You know, man.
Yeah.
Let this person get comfortable.
Yeah.
And we'll start. He knows when we started the podcast.
I'm telling you, cameras are no child's play.
I don't know. These things.
No child's play.
Let's go to your solo career, my friend.
Yeah.
Let's go to your solo career. There was a guy who was a backing vocalist. I started hearing this song.
Yeah.
He sang it at a church I used to attend. Ngena.
Yes.
Ngena.
Yes.
Ngena.
Yeah.
You wrote that song?
No, I didn't.
Who wrote that song?
Sibongiseni Mpele wrote it. Yeah.
Sibongiseni, the one who wasn't Joyous.
Yes.
He wrote that song?
Yes. Oh, he wrote a whole lot of songs for Joyous, that guy.
Really?
Yeah. A whole lot of songs. Even the very first song that I did in Joyous was written by him. The one that I did on Joyous 14 as well. Yokubuhle Bokumazi.
Yeah.
Him. So he had written a whole lot of songs.
So Ngena was written by him.
It was written by
I
him. as
couldn't
well.
get, I searched for that song when I was interviewing, I think it was Sap, when it was Song of the Week. I'm like,
Yeah.
I missed the song. And Sandile was singing that song.
Yeah.
That's how I got. And then when I found out, Guti, it was recorded live state theater. I didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
I was not happy, but beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You did Ngena. There's a song called My Worship. And I was like, okay, I'm asking worship, but lapaya. I think Ngena corner. And then there was a song you did, Ukalile. It's Kola nongimazi. Shaya khona futhi awugage. So now, beautiful album, ne?
Thank you, sir.
Proper band.
Thank you.
Uxoli Thabethe was your producer, ne?
Producer, yes.
And then you had Bafana
And Bafana
on drums.
yes.
And then was it Thabelo? It wasn't bass.
It was Mabena.
Mabena, ne?
Yes.
It was not Thabelo, ne?
No, it was.
No, you're right, it was Mabena.
Yes.
Beautiful music.
Yeah.
But I was so surprised with it. And then what happened to this? This guy clearly has a following. This guy, we are tandwa, abantu. Like me, I've regarded you Prince of Praise from then. What happened then to your album?
You know what? Even though I wouldn't. Okay, yes.
Correct, sorry.
Even though I wouldn't get into details as to what had happened with the album, but the album was signed in with a very new company. In fact, I was the very first artist. They had came. The CEO of that company had came to my show that I used to have, shows that I used to have here in Johannesburg, which were called Power of Praise Experience. So the songs that are in the album were actually the songs that I had done in that show. So after the show, he comes to me. He says to me, "Listen. You know what? Let me just sign you up." He had already had a company, but didn't have a music division. So he opened a music division, and then I was signed into the company.
Correct.
But now, you know how it is. You know when it's a family-based company, and when the bulls are fighting up there,
Yes.
the grass.
The grass suffers. Yes.
So it was that kind of a thing, because that family marriage had to be dissolved. So the company as well was part of, so it had to also dissolve as well. So, and then after that, it was a matter of, because I couldn't do anything with the album because I didn't own any rights to it. But now that it's been over years now, automatically now the album belongs to me. Now I can actually do something. It's just that one is still in the planning stages, because there are songs that I really feel that we could have I can still do even now. So yeah.
Now you're Ngena, but in KwaZulu, we kept the recording of this album, right? there's the peculiar thing that happened, right? When somebody bought tickets. What happened there?
Bought ticket.
So wait. So word on the street.
Yeah.
Word on the street said when the album was, because when I was watching this DVD,
Yeah.
I don't see the crowd much, ne?
Yeah.
And then when because I'm in the industry, when you don't see the crowd much, you ask yourself, it's either the auditorium was empty,
Yeah.
or it's either they're trying to hide something.
Yeah.
Then I started asking, can't do why the crowd? No, somebody bought the tickets, but the people for the tickets didn't pitch.
That is lies. I'm sorry to say that.
Is that lies?
That is absolutely lies.
Was it a full house?
It wasn't full, but it was in State Theatre, the big opera.
In the opera, yeah.
So the bottom was full.
Yeah.
Then the balcony was almost full.
Almost full.
You know, so it was good attendance.
So there was no sabotage from that point.
There was absolutely no sabotage. What happened was, that is why the audience is not showing that much. What happened was, after recording the album, the company that was taking visuals, they lost some of the footages. You know, if you remember, it actually even took a bit of time to actually come out.
Yes.
Now they had to really try and get, you know, nice shots that they can actually, you know, edit and put
together.
So it was just a matter of that somebody lost files.
On the street, but this man was sabotaged. Into a man's
No, that is not true. Nobody sabotaged anybody there.
Really?
You know, it was just the company. Well, yeah, maybe I would say it was the company that sabotaged, but according to what I know, no one sabotaged anyone. They lost the files, but they tried to work with what they had at the time to actually get something out. People attended the show. You know, Nama was actually shocked because number one, I was thinking I would probably have an audience like that if I do something like that back at home in Durban, but that showed how much Praetorian people supported you. You know me at that time. So yeah.
But you did the launch back in Durban.
Back in Durban, yeah.
In Mhlanga, ne?
Yes, in Isibaya.
Yeah.
In Isibaya, yes.
Mhlanga.
Not necessarily in Mhlanga. It's almost, somewhere there, the same vicinity.
Can throw a stone.
Yeah.
So people at home still support you. They're looking for more music from you.
Well, yeah, they do because you know how it is. People, I get to see with comments like on why I'm here today. So somebody was like, "Can we have you know Xolani coming on the show?" Then for me, that tells me what people are still waiting. You know, they haven't totally forgotten. You know, people are still waiting, and I say this at the right time.
At the right time.
At the right time, something is going to come, and most definitely this year. You know, something is going to definitely This year, 2025, something is definitely going to come.
So before you start, Siam Tetra wrote something that blew my mind. Yesterday or the day before, can't remember. But I took a screenshot of it. No, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday. Actually, the Roma Obani sent me this. He says, "Bruh, this is food for thought." He said, "To all musicians and artists, I pray we apply discernment when it comes to opportunities of funding and of projects, etc. Not everyone with money is purely invested in your craft." What do you say to that?
That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true, and it's easy. It's easy to not even take your time to really pray about it because that's the opportunity you are looking for as a musician.
Answered prayer.
Yes, it's an answered prayer. So that is why it's amazing because we were talking about this with some of the Christians back at home. We really have to inquire from the Lord in everything that happens into our lives. Because Nami, I had a bit of things where I'll be getting into them, and along the way I see, okay, this really was presented to me very well, but it's not really what I'm supposed to be doing. And when at that time you are busy saying, "Thank you, Lord, for this opportunity," where else to find that if you had really inquired from God and said, "Lord, okay, is this for me?" you know, then you would have had your answer before you actually even invest yourself in that. So that point by Sia is very much true. Very much, yeah, legit.
But it's difficult to discern when you're excited.
It's very much,
When it looks like an answered prayer.
we only discern if it is something that is probably
Negative.
not good. But if it is good, praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. It's like this pastor was saying, if somebody donates 2 million to your ministry, do you bother even asking where is that money coming from?
No.
Or is it an answered prayer?
No, because number one, you're looking, okay, I have absolutely nothing to do with it. He is donating. So, you know, let me just praise the Lord. Unless it is something else, okay, you do this, then you get this, then, you know. But now when you say, I'm just donating, you're like, Father, thank you.
But I wish you well. I hope you come back. Booyah, man. You're not done, man. You know, like, they don't want you to go.
Yeah.
That man is a visionary. He saw something in you. He saw what you still have in the gas tank.
Yeah.
And I think you still need to explore that.
Yeah.
So now you are big on features. This guy, if you record, don't feature him. Takes over.
Yeah, what am I
No. I remember the first time I heard Phakama.
Yeah.
You know, you did all those songs with Joyous, ne?
Yeah.
But Xolani Mdlalose, I think of Phakama.
Yeah.
Even the band was on point.
Yeah.
Mahalia was on point.
Yeah.
BV's on point. But that song, you dug deep, eh? Phakama. That song, Phakama, you were even featured in his presence by Benjamin Duene.
Yeah.
You sang, but Phakama. Like that song.
You know, to tell you something about that song, Mahalia, you see that one? She just likes just throwing me in the deep.
Yeah.
She tells me that she's recording the live DVD.
Yeah.
I think about 3 months went by. I knew that she was going to be recording. On the very last week of her show, of the recording, she tells me, "Hey, my friend, you know what? There is this song that I actually wrote at Phakama, so I want to feature you." I'm like, "My friend, your recording is over the weekend, and you are telling me now, but come on, my friend, it's fine, you can do it." You know, I came through for a last rehearsal of that recording, and then I just recorded. I didn't even rehearse or sing with her. I just recorded everything as she was doing the song on stage, and then I then met up with her for a sound check to the show. That was the very first time now we are doing the song together, and then Nakona, it was just checking the head and the tail of the song, not really doing the song because I had another invitation in Pretoria. So we did a little bit of a sound check, got into a car, straight to Pretoria to minister there. And when I was finished there, straight back to Soweto Theatre to be on standby, to go on stage. And then we did the song.
Really?
I'm telling you.
And it became one of the biggest songs on the album. So you...
Sure. That's how that song came about. It wasn't weeks of weeks rehearsing. It was just literally just one sound check that we did together. So when we actually were doing it on the recording, that was the very first time we were doing it together. And to a point that when we were then performing it on the shows, that's when we really grow into the song. Also now I grew into the song as well. You know, so yeah. Sure.
That's my friend. You worked with different artists, right?
Yeah.
As a BV. Do you think you strong with BV?
Well, yes.
Ne?
Yes. Yes. No, even in Joyous Celebration, I was one of the anchors.
Really?
You know, tenor anchors. There was a year I was tenor number one. If you're a tenor number one in Joyous Celebration, that means you are the trusted one. On that,
everyone follows you.
You know, you are the trusted one on that
line of tenor.
And it's you're the one who is it's usually tenor number one, number two, number three, number four, and I'm not sure if five, but the 4 ones are the ones that are probably louder than anyone else, especially on the live shows and all.
Is that the ones that they push?
Yes, they push them a little bit.
Ne?
You know, khulumisa into manje. But anyway,
No, but I've always I remember everyone's I once attended the rehearsal. Like, no, it was not a rehearsal. There was a Joyous show,
Yeah.
and they were doing sound check before, and I was
Yeah.
privileged at least to be there.
Yeah.
And then I stopped the show, guys. Ukhona uphimba. And you'd never think in Joyous Celebration is high level. You'll never think ungaba nomuntu ophimbayo in that level. And that's when I knew no, backing is not really for it.
Yeah,
Not everyone can back properly.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing. I think with me, it was also the fact that at a very young age I was taught to back because before I started leading even at church where my music, started back in SCFCI, I would back a lot, being back, and the people that were leading at the time when back so
okay,
cooler in that. And then when I got to Joyous Celebration, it was on another level now, on a very much high level
Correct,
of backing, and Nakona one and you are backing about 25 songs. So it really
requires a
trains
lot.
you.
Yeah,
It
no,
trains
no,
you
no,
to be a good PV.
Ne?
Unless I have no idea unless what if you wouldn't be a good PV and you've been in Joyous Celebration. Oh, I wouldn't know why you wouldn't be a good PV.
No, but yeah, Joyous Celebration. 20 something songs.
Yeah.
Ayo, guys, your memory. Lastly, on collaborations, right? So if I call you and I say, Xolani, there's this song, I feel like you'd be perfect for it. What is the first conversation? Is the first conversation, so how much am I getting paid? Is the other conversation, can I sing this song by myself? Sing it Ula somewhere. Phakama, I'm sure you sing it by yourself as well. I assume. And then we must split. How does this collaboration aspect work?
Okay. I think it differs. There is no
Set
procedure. This is how we do it. It differs as well because sometimes it goes with relationships as well. Like in the case of me and Mahala, she's a friend. She's also a colleague. So that was a different way of doing it as well. And as well with Bishop Benjamin Dube, it was a different way as well. But I think more than anything, nje could depend ekuthenini lo muntu uyenza kanjani. Because with Benjamin Dube, I remember we actually met at the airport. He was going to minister somewhere. I was also going to minister somewhere. So we met over Wimpy having breakfast. And then he told me, no, I'm actually doing in his presence, victorious in his presence. And your name kept on, coming up, So I would want you to be part of that. Okay, that was his side. And then the management then now calls to then formalize everything. It's still okay. The project, this is for rehearsals, this is how much, and then I think for first it's your availability. That are you available to do it? Then if you say yes, we're going to do it, and then the office calls, and then you set all the things out as to this is how much, this is how much, and then when you start the rehearsals, then that is when now then the song gets to be assigned to you. Okay, this is the song that we probably think you're going to do, and I think you are also open to say, okay, this song may not be my song, because I remember even Nutu Benjamin as well. That was the case where I was like, there was a song that he wanted me to do. Yes, I love the song, but I don't think it's the song that I can. Can I bring you a song? Not that song, and then he loved it. Everybody loved it. So that's how the song came about. Whereas with Mahale as well, it was a different way of doing it as well. It was a friendship basis, So I did everything with her, and then she told me later on, "This is how much I'm going to pay you."
Oh, she paid you?
Obviously.
Oh. But I'm thinking, Gani.
No, she had to honor that. She had to honor that. She did pay.
So with friends, that payment conversation is not awkward.
Nah, I don't think it depends on the level of a friendship as well. Would see how close are you, and as well how do you tackle that that issue. Some people will say, okay, I want you to because there's another friend of mine as well who I did the same for him, and he's also a friend. He was like to me, my friend, there's a song that I wanted to feature you on the song. On my album, and how much do you? He asked me, you know, how much would you, you know? And I was like, my friend, usually this is how much.
25,000,
You know,
yeah.
This is how much that I would. But then, you know, since you and I, we have, you know, a mutual friendship and relationship. So, you know, it's going to be up to you. But at least I had given him a
But
scope.
normally you charge this much.
Yeah.
Why is it a secret? When I ask people, how much do you charge? No, it depends. Afuna ukuxosha abantu.
No, you don't want to chase people up before they actually even reach to you already. Like, no, let's check for someone else.
No, I've heard you. So I still don't get this. And the reason I'm asking you, as a podcast, this year we're looking at recording our album, right? So we write a song for you, and we say, no, come and sing it.
Yeah.
And the response from different people is, yes, we want to do it. Then some people will say, so how much? A lot of people are saying, listen, I don't mind doing the song with you, but we need to co-write it. So it can become our song. I'm saying, cool. One or two will say, yeah, but how much? But a lot of people are saying, I'm more in the, I want to be co-writing the song.
That's so much.
In the splits, I must be there.
Yeah.
Then even if you don't pay me, I'm fine. So I'm seeing that it's different with, like you were saying, it's different with everyone.
Yeah.
So I want to see now when I call you for this one, I hope you say co-writing. That's not my
Well, so I mean, like I'm saying, it depends on what the approach that African are.
Yeah.
When you say, I've got a song for you, this is how much I'm going to pay you, and then that's it. You know, or when you will be like, okay, this is the piece of the song that I have. What else can you add? So now already automatically that's co-writing without even having to say, even me having to say, okay, I wanted to say something, and my friend said, no, don't say anything now. Don't say anything now, you know, on the next podcast. But yeah, I'll just keep it at that.
Yeah.
You know, Oguchi, my friend said I mustn't say anything, but you know what that says. But yeah, I think when you have her, she will tell everything.
Ne?
You know, I would encourage that you have her. But yeah, like
I've been trying to get there. Because I'm told.
but yeah, like I say, it depends on the approach of the person who is approaching you. Ukuthi, how do they want to work?
Kanje.
Yeah.
But so we Brian manje, so zoshaya.
I don't mind.
House.
I don't mind.
No. There's a song for you actually. So, my brother, you've taken out the album iphumile. Abantu bayikhohliwe. You said you had alluded to there might be something in the pipeline. Is it a DVD? What are you planning? What are the plans?
The plans are to actually record an audio. An audio, and then.
What do you mean an audio?
Audio, as in no DVD. But at the same time, because God has blessed me with a church that has all of these nice gadgets to, you know, get audio and also have
Video.
visuals as well. So I was just having that idea. I haven't even run it by my pastor, but I know he's also a musician. You know, he's also a qualified musician. So I know he wouldn't have issues with that. That we'll just do maybe just one song during praise so that we capture the audience, the church, and also the visuals, and then have that, you know, have that released. So that's the plan, just to save on cost, because you know how it is when you have to do a full DVD live. It's costly. It's very costly.
Very expensive.
So yeah. So if we that's the approach that I'm going to be taking.
Ne?
Yeah.
But you know, but recorded an album, Heaven's Ways.
Yeah.
Recorded it live, but in studio.
Yes.
So that's also. But if you've got a church.
Yes, there's just so many options that one can actually look into. It could be live in the studio. It could be live at church, you know, because now we do our lives. It's on when you know we have all the, and you listen to the audio like, okay, the audio is good. You can actually do something with this.
Correct.
You know, and how about you have also capture the audience just for the visuals for the TV.
Correct.
And stuff.
Yeah. So we're expecting an offering from you this year.
Yep. Most definitely.
Please do invite us, ne?
Most definitely.
Anyone who invites the podcast, we attend. We don't ask for tickets, we buy them, ne?
Okay.
No,
I will definitely do.
Ne?
Do.
Please.
In fact, you are invited already.
I was.
Yeah.
Kota, umvelinqangi uyozokuchoose idate ne?
Yes.
Where do you stay?
I'm actually in Durban.
You stay in Durban, ne?
Yeah, I'm in Durban.
Oh,
I'm in
alright.
Durban for now. I went to Durban after COVID.
Ne?
Yeah, I've been in Durban the whole time. And I'm staying at home. And I was like, you know what? I'm enjoying not to pay rent. Because all of my life here in Johannesburg,
Ayidlali
I
rent,
pay
ne?
rent.
You stay in Ulundi?
No, in Durban.
In
I've got
Durban.
another home in Durban.
Oh, another home.
Yeah,
Eh?
yeah.
Couple of homes. You know what he said to me? Boss, are we still good for today? Yeah, I left my driver's license. It said driver's license, ne? In the Range Rover, but I managed to make a plan. I found another car. Soft life, ne?
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Didn't you say you left your license?
I said I left my
Thank you.
license.
Thank you.
Range Rover and stuff. I have like, hey.
No, I'm just coming with another car. Man, I haven't got a pillar. But my brother, and lastly, what I need to ask you is, what would you like to see change in the gospel music industry?
With the way things are happening now in the gospel industry, it wouldn't be really wanting to the stuff change, but to have more, more of this new generation that is coming in, and people receiving this new generation that is coming in, because we're coming back from that time, where you gospel musician will be associated with ukucula uginqike phansi, ukucula usemadwaleni, ucule uhamba phezu kolwandle,
Waterfall.
Waterfalls and stuff. But now the new generation is bringing in something that is also, that at 2000 or someone who's osemncane can be able to take it in, because imagine you got 2000, then the next thing would go to and they know things now. We're like, what is going on? Kanti Tina, at that time, in our time, it was very much nice and normal.
It was normal, yes.
So I think more than anything, it's more like wanting to see more of these authentic worshippers, people that you see, they are not just singing just for imali or anything. They are singing because they are living this thing. You can feel the anointing when they sing. You can tell what these people are children of God. You can actually even hear when they speak. They know what they're singing about. They have a relationship with what they are singing about. So I think for me, more than having anything to change, it will be wanting to see more of what we are having right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, people are doing, you look at what Ayanda Ntanzi is doing.
Yeah.
You look at what Spirit of Praise is doing. You look at,
Yes.
I loved what Dr. There's a lot. If Dr.
yeah.
Dumi.
Yes.
Recording, David D also did it.
Yes.
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 I love what Mama is doing. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, that
Yeah.
woman.
Yes.
Woman.
Yes.
But we are north of Durban, ne? Mawuya esikhaweni angazi banipeni guys, those guys they do nothing. You guys got something special, but you guys have got something special. Ngube bombatha like
Abotokozo.
le gang is in north angazi kunendaba kodwa. So recording, like Dr. Tubi did, recorded the Ponteval by the river lapaya. Like I love how people are thinking. David D recorded on a penthouse, the rooftop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Different.
Yeah.
We're getting out of the norm of
the
recording
Yes.
at a just a theater. It's still nice.
Yeah.
People are still, but I like people who did the rehearsal.
Yeah.
The video recording, but
Yes.
it's like a rehearsal.
Yeah.
So it was nice. So I love what people are doing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But my brother,
Yeah.
I'd like to thank you for taking time to come here with this car you came with. Yeah, she said.
Leave the cars alone.
Okay, sorry. Oh, and one thing I want to commend you.
Oh man, thank you.
No.
Thank you.
People with the dress style,
Thank you.
proper.
I always try to look good.
Eh?
I always get surprised when people are like, you go agash. I'm like, but to me, it's like I just like putting things together.
I know. It's either you have it or not. Like me, I know I don't have it. And when I mean fashion, Fashion. Ngifana nalo baba.
Yeah, so far,
Do you have a question for this man?
No, good. Yeah, he's one of those people, as a backing vocal, growing up in Bonaguma TV, you've always been that guy. When you're a backing vocalist, you are in the background, obviously, and it's like you're quiet. It's like Temming goes, Manele. Same thing. Like I've always seen him as a backing vocalist, and then just to see you live and talking your story and all of that was quite inspiring.
Yeah.
So it was good to have you.
Thank you.
It was good to have you.
And put right, we are guys when they said boy. So on the podcast we've got a sponsor, Little Luck, your body, your treasure, your shower gel,
Oh man!
your bath foam.
How did you know? How did you know Good I've actually ran out of that?
Sunlight.
No. It's still there, but I'm almost somewhere in the. And I was thinking, buying you tank.
Please take my brother. That's okay. Yes.
Oh, this is nice.
Yes, please hit them up on
Instagram.
Instagram. Igeza nezona.
Yeah.
Inwaka mnandi.
Yeah.
Ngokuthi ngigcobise esinkweni ngihle. So please check them out.
so much.
Little Laka,
Yeah.
your body, your treasure. Ithi ukuthi
Yeah.
mangabe awuna shower. Iyasebenza as a bath foam, ne?
Yeah.
As a bath foam. So please use it. If you do like it, hit them up on Instagram.
I would most definitely do that.
Straight.
do that.
And then from the Gospel Reality podcast, Sugupa, the hot and cold. Hey, Bonach.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a goodies here.
Oh, buff.
This is nice.
Yeah.
This is nice. No more of be having water on stage.
I want to squeeze bottle sakho
Yeah.
lesi. So joyous, sesiphelile baba. Sesikupe sinye manje. But when papa squeeze bottle vele.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
So
very nice.
it keeps cold things cold, hot
Yeah,
things hot.
Yeah.
So it right,
Oh,
it right.
Thank you so much.
No, please use it.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
Why make a room divider?
No, I'm
He
gonna
looks like
use
such a room divider.
I'm gonna post pictures having this even on when I do performances and
We
study.
beg lapaya.
Yeah.
No, if you do that, we'll send you
Look
another.
at Look at you.
But my brother, I appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
I had
Thank you
such a
so
good
much.
conversation with you.
Thank you.
Inkosi Kubeke, he's still expecting a lot more from you.
Sebo, thank you so much.
Kuningi akaqedi.
Thank you for having me. I've always seen this background, and I didn't know what I'm gonna be like. To a point, because on Instagram, I didn't put the face to this to this background and to this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm only actually realizing now when you're calling me with the number that you're calling me with. I'm like, oh, okay, this is the person.
This is the person. No. Thina phela siyatry. So one day I'm gonna have you back, ne?
Yeah.
To ask you the questions I was afraid to ask today. But
Come on. Oh, don't ask those questions.
My brother, thank you very much for coming through, ne?
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Cool. Thank you for having me. I had an awesome time.
Yeah.
I had an awesome. You know what? In fact, it wasn't as I had thought because already, like you were saying now, you're gonna ask me those questions. I was thinking, oh my goodness, I'm gonna be roasted here.
Phela last no job. Which I
Some of the things ezinye suke trend now because of that segment or that potion. If I give him like, oh, I want to tell him and I'm like, hey.
No, I've got a good counselor. His name is Dituro Maubani.
Yeah.
He manages. He's got time. He has He'll say, be careful how you ask this because it's got 1-2 implications. I'm like, hey, it's really Lelendon. So I consult. I've got people I consult in there. So I need to shout out to Dituro Maubani and Joseph Mudau. Those people sit me down, but hey, not. We've watched the episode. Let me give you what I think. Honestly, so I appreciate you, gentlemen. But my brother, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, other than that, I'm also Ibelilo.